Hello, dear friends. There are good, bad, and average beings, like everything else in life. Opinion piece. Angels and demons. The golden timeline. Revelation of truths. Discerning darkness. Visitors from the stars. Consciousness-based technology. Let's start. Do angels and demons exist? Of course, says Craig Utz. These beings operate on different planes of existence. Angels seem to have greater dimensional freedom than demons, who are chained to higher density realities, symbolizing hell. Demons and those under their influence seek to awaken and dominate others. In times past, many ancient peoples would have considered advanced visitors from the stars to be gods or angels due to their extraordinary technological capabilities, thanks to a technology that interacts with consciousness. Can demons appear as extraterrestrials? Yes, they can. Therefore, when you have an encounter with a being from another world, it is important to observe and sense their presence in order to discern their true nature. Many of the races that interact with our planet are members of the coalition of worlds, are biological beings like us. They are simply more advanced in spiritual and technological ways. Even the cell phones we have now would have seemed like magic to people of a couple of centuries ago. The capabilities of advanced races surpass our understanding. There is a magic in reality that we have not yet discovered. Just because something is not understood does not mean it is demonic. They can move in and out of dimensional planes to bend the fabric of space-time and reach a human being in an instant. Our consciousness is omnipresent. We have the ability to tune in to any being and at any time and place. Even some of the ascended masters have also that ability. As civilization progresses, consciousness-based technologies will emerge. In time, we will realize that spaceships are merely a convenience, not a necessity for travel. We need you to believe in yourselves. We want humanity to be empowered, to become a functioning civilization, and to reach its full potential. Domino effect. The concealment of truths about humanity, advanced technologies, extraterrestrial life, and secret programs is coming to an end. When this information is revealed, it will trigger a domino effect or chain reaction that will impact humanity and its perception of reality, according to Celia Wilder. In her view, Earth has been under the influence of external forces that have kept humankind in a state of control and confusion. She states that this system is beginning to collapse, leading to a gradual revelation of truths. The revelation of hidden truths will trigger further exposure of information and accelerate global changes. More spacecraft may appear in the skies, and the existence of extraterrestrial life, advanced technologies, and secret structures will be revealed. According to the Coalition of Worlds, this process of revelation will not depend solely on visible external events, such as official announcements or physical manifestations, but will occur at an individual level through an internal shift in perception and consciousness. It also describes this shift as a collective phenomenon in which human consciousness experiences a gradual awakening that extends across different levels or dimensions. This process will involve the dissolution of structures considered illusory and the awakening of the forces that had maintained control. As these structures disintegrate, the dominant forces react, attempting to maintain their influence. Although they appear to be in a final phase of losing power, the result of this process will be a stage of liberation and humanity's active participation in a broader change as an advance toward a new form of consciousness and reality. The Coalition of Worlds is monitoring the situation and is prepared to intervene if necessary, especially if certain factions attempt to cause harm before the truth is known. Their intervention would be carried out with protection for the innocent and with love and care. Ufology. The White House is investigating the deaths and disappearances of scientists. The 11th death of a scientist adds to a string of missing officials with access to UFOs. John Solomon claims that President Trump is about to begin declassifying documents in an operation he calls hypersonic clarity. He believes there will be a speed in the release of information unlike anything seen in previous years. President Trump claims he has found many interesting documents related to UFOs and will begin releasing them very soon. Vice President Vance claims he will get to the bottom of the UFO files. Helpers. These superior beings manifest and disappear while helping animals and humans in danger. Their hearts beat with love, for they feel such compassion that they possess the power of light to accomplish any feat. They move through mountains, rescuing many from storms and oceans. They appear on battlefields and lead many to safety. These sacred souls incarnate and live among you now, but between their lifetimes of incarnation, their visits to Earth are constant. Technology. China has unveiled the first general-purpose domestic robot. China's humanoid robot, half marathon, is approaching. The Chinese company Unitree unveils a robot with a human-like physique that can outrun most people. Controversy. Controversial opinion of the Archangel Gabriel on President Trump. The Epstein files, hidden networks, non-human intelligence operating behind the scenes, all are coming to light at an unprecedented rate because their function is to create maximum disruption and maximum visibility. He brings to light what is hidden. He makes the debate about extraterrestrial life, suppressed technologies, and non-human influence a topic of conversation. He disrupts financial networks, old power structures, and the illusion of visible governance. Every scandal, every headline, every viral moment is part of the script. So much is coming to light right now because this energy creates the necessary friction that the old density can no longer contain. The galactic plan is flawless. Trump isn't here to be our savior. He's here to be the mirror that forces you to stop looking for it outside of yourself. His role is to accelerate the collapse of the old timeline so that the golden timeline can be anchored. The more chaos and revelation his energy generates, the faster the old dream dissolves and the new one emerges. Because without this level of visibility and friction, the awakening wouldn't be happening at this speed. The galactic plan is perfect, and you are exactly where you need to be to witness it all unfold. They said he would start the Third World Party. He just ended 3 conflicts in 1 week, according to Mr. Poole. According to Cavamur, the Pleiadians contacted Trump because he possessed the resources, personality, and determination necessary to confront the cabal. Everything will be rebuilt in the change. Many of those who hate him now will love him later, in his opinion. Middle East. Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz again and attacks an oil tanker after accusing the US of violating the agreement. Lebanon claims Israel carried out an attack after the ceasefire agreement. The US is preparing to seize ships linked to Iran worldwide. The US extends by 1 month the permit to trade Russian oil already loaded onto ships. Economy. The gap between rich and poor countries is widening, according to the UN. Financial crime lawyers are losing work. Trump announces reforms to accelerate psychedelic-based therapies. Money issued is created out of thin air. It is a false substitute that should not be called money, but at most currency, as opposed to money created for labor, minerals, or resources, according to Peter B. Mayer in quotes. Europe. Europe launches an online age verification app. Former Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo wants that the Iran conflict threatens to derail the global development. Funds are being raised to assassinate Romanian President Nicu Sordan. Germany killed nearly 3,000 wild boars in 1 year due to radioactivity. Spain. Buying a home in 2026 is 18% more expensive. Trump says it's shameful to see Spain because of its disastrous economic figures. Maria Corina Machado receives the Gold Medal of Madrid. Machado hopes to return to Venezuela when there are free elections. Thousands of Venezuelans welcome Maria Corina Machado at the Puerta del Sol, Door of the Sun. The Sahrawi people who remain outside the regularization process, unfortunately. Spain is moving towards an energy system with less dependence on gas. Military news. The Navy in Almeria is carrying out a key exercise this week. Spain and Italy accelerate development of the new European warship. Argentina seeks to acquire frigates built in Spain. The Ministry of Defense is preparing to implement a 35-hour work week in the armed forces. Americas. New oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Mexico, Brazil, and Spain will increase their humanitarian aid to Cuba. Peru declares a state of emergency in its fight against crime. The IMF predicts a difficult year for Bolivia. Inflation is rising in Argentina. The Argentine government returns to Washington to unlock more IMF funds. Chile's copper industry could be yet another victim of the conflict in the Middle East. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.